Well, it looks to me that if we assume that scientific and technological development is allowed to continue, then at some point machines will be able not just to do every specific task that we do, but also have the same general understanding, the same powerful learning ability, planning ability that makes us humans smart, and that will then be able to do everything that we can do and more. Some types of intellectual performance, it turns out, can be achieved in different ways, in a way that captures some superficial characteristics and doesn't necessarily scale, and then sort of in the hard way, the way that humans do, maybe where everything is grounded in basic perceptual input, that then provides a lot more resilience and ability to generalize. And so some of the work that is currently being done in AI is kind of recapitulating specific things that could be done earlier, but now using more general methods that will generalize and scale. In the near term, we have all kinds of familiar problems with computer security and bugs and just getting the technology to do what we intend for it to do. But the problem becomes qualitatively different if in the future you have AIs that have the same general intelligence that we do or more, where you could have adversarial technology, not just technology that malfunctions by accident, as it were, but because it is literally at cross purpose with us. So you have a fundamentally different types of challenge if you're dealing on the one hand, say, with inert materials, like a stone might be really heavy and hard to lift, but it doesn't deliberately try to avoid try to break your back. If you have something in between, like evolutionary systems like microbes, they sometimes evolve around the countermeasures. So you invent antibiotics and they kind of evolve antibiotic resistance. So that makes it harder, right? But with intelligent systems, you have a third level of challenge where they potentially are able to anticipate what you might do and plan around it from the beginning. So that's then creates a different paradigm for how you need to go about computer security in this future context where you have truly general, capable artificial intelligence. Well, it's kind of an open question. So certainly there's a lot of progress in making machines smarter right now, a lot of interest, a lot of bright people going into that. There's rather less research on the question of if you succeeded at making machines really smart, super intelligent, how could we then ensure that they will be benevolent, that they will be safe? So there are like maybe 2 or 3 orders of magnitude fewer people working on that. Still, it's encouraging that over the last couple of years, even though it's still a very, very small number, it's a lot more than there were just 2 years ago. So if we can keep building this field, I think that will somewhat improve the odds ultimately when humanity does make this transition to the machine intelligence era. Well, so this paperclip AI, it's a kind of cartoon example, but it stands in for a wider class of failures. So in the literature, a paperclip AI would be an AI with the goal of making as many paperclips as possible. Maybe you design this to operate a paperclip factory. And when the AI is weak, the only way it can produce more paperclips is by running this factory more efficiently, so everything is as you intend for it to be. But when the AI reaches a certain level of intellectual sophistication, a larger planning space opens up, and it realizes that there are now other ways to achieve paperclips that will result in many more paperclips, such as taking control of additional infrastructure, maybe inventing new technologies for making paperclips, and in particular making sure that humans don't switch off, because then you won't be around to produce more paperclips. So this cartoon example illustrates the general syndrome, that you specify a particular goal that captures some of what we really want, but not all of it. And when you have a sufficiently powerful optimization process turned loose to optimize for that goal, you then get these instrumental reasons for the AI to do things that destroy us as a side effect. Not because it hates us or resents us, but because it's indifferent to us, and in the pursuit of its slightly misspecified goals, it's a lot of collateral damage.